This is Sybert signing in to Red Alert 3, and yes, we are still on Infinity Isle. Will we ever leave this map? Maybe, maybe not, but on the left side, I'm excited to say that our blue allied player going for a fast airfield right out of the gate. This is Happy. Okay, so he is hoping to get himself an engineer kill. Meanwhile, on the right side, let's see if he saves his engineer. This is the Green Soviets' Toolman. All right, we got to hop over here to the engineer. And it looks like the Vindicator might barely be too late. It lifts off there, and it's going to be just a smidge late to grab that engineer. So no engineer kill for Happy, but a second Vindicator could allow him to jump on some bullfrogs, force a bit of an awkwardness from our Toolman Soviet player if Happy decides to go for a second Vindicator. He is indeed. So a fair delay on the two refineries, but it looks like it's going to be a fast third refinery coming out from Happy. So he'll kind of try and make up for his difficulty in getting the first two refineries and the oil derrick up. And in exchange, he will go for... Oh, okay. In exchange, Happy will go for a quick third refinery and then just try and bomb the heck out of his Soviet opponent. Now, this is interesting because Toolman is actually base crawling Naval Yard Reactor to a third refinery as well, so he is happy to play the eco game against Happy. I wouldn't normally recommend this, but let's see what Toolman's got. This is not a player I'm familiar with, but it's perhaps a fresh Soviet face here on Infinity Isle against Happy, and I'm curious to see how he handles this fast airfield. This is already not going how I thought, but I guess the Naval Yard makes sense. I mean, you're going to have to sell it off, but maybe you get it yourself out. Good couple of bullfrogs. We'll see how Happy is able to deal with them. For now, Happy is just pleased to bomb all of the conscripts out of his base and deal with them that way. Toolman grabbing both of the oil derricks, so a bit of a risky play, but he managed to do it, so he gets the cash back on both oil derricks, and he's even going to go for the building as well, trying to bait out those Vindicators. This is 3 bullfrogs here, so it's going to take a couple of shots, but 2 of them will go down. 1 Vindicator gets eliminated, and then the second almost goes down, but it's so close, and Toolman doesn't get the kill. That was very unfortunate timing there. Third refineries are already up for both players. Fourth refineries coming up momentarily, and the Vindicator is going to be making another pass through the middle of the map. Happy is going to be forced to engage here. He misses out on the opportunity to escape with both Vindicators. Sometimes against 2 bullfrogs, you can barely escape there, but Happy doesn't quite get the angle. The bullfrog get the first couple of shots off, and once again, it looks like the Vindicators will escape this time barely again. Happy deciding to cut a little bit to the south and does indeed survive for the current moment. Of course, his units repair. The bullfrogs do not at the current moment. So 4 refinery versus 4 refinery, but double oil derrick on the side of Toolman. And it would not be a bad idea for Happy to snipe this oil derrick with his 4 Vindicators and capture his own oil derrick back, so it's sort of a 1-2 punch, and into the walls! Hey now, this is the sort of stuff, now I don't even care. Sometimes, oh no, what are you doing, Happy, what are you doing? Oh, maybe this is intentional. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. I mean, still, what are you doing? But it's intentional. Anytime I see a replay on the replay system, and it's like someone that I don't know the name of versus someone that I do know the name of, is like, wait, did you happen to get a win against, like, Drunk Demon, and then now you're posting the replay? And it's like, oh, no, Demon played terrible this game. This is not actually, like, an impressive win. But I am really curious because he's doing a little bit of wall swag. This is not Eminence-level wall swag. This is not cut the map in half with an infinite barricade kind of wall swag. But this is a little baby wall swag going on here with this shoe horse. Shoe horse? I don't think that's... I don't think a shoe horse is the right way to say that. With the little horseshoe shape there. Twin Blade comes out for Toolman as well. So Happy starting to make those classic sort of ways that an allied player can gain a bit of an advantage. The bullfrogs aren't always going to be in the right spot to defend against the oil derrick, especially with the cliff right there. They're not always going to be in the right spot to get the stop on a single bombing run against a refinery. And those are little ways that the allied player, wow, he doesn't even want to try and save that, but I guess the Akula sub is going to be showing up. He's going to get the kill on the refinery one way or another. The Vindicators are going to come in to try and stop the Akula sub, but it's going to be close either way, especially once he activates the Ultra Torpedoes and does a big chunk of damage to that refinery. He's just going to go ahead and go under the water. Good move there by Toolman. And it sounds kind of weird because calling someone a tool is typically an insult, but this guy is like Tim the Toolman, and I guess in his case it's pretty good. Super Reactor, no, Battle Lab is coming up. The Super Reactor already up and running and happy. This one Twin Blade causing some real problems because he went for just that single airfield kind of play. He didn't go double airfield. He doesn't have any Apollos to chase down those Twin Blades, and the Cryocopter is going to help eliminate this Akula sub, but the Riptides are going to have to be what actually gets the kill. Dogs and Bears going to be tussling in the middle of the map, and the dog does get the bark off. The Bullfrog's trying to body block for the bear, but it's not quite going to work. Fighting over that observation post is not something we typically see. The Akula sub does get cleaned up, but in this particular case, we do see them fighting over that observation post. Second airfield is up and running, the high ground airfield with access to the Tier 2, and yeah, I guess that one is also in range of the Tier 2, somewhat surprisingly. Twin Blade gets the snipe on an engineer, but Happy gets the observation post anyway, so I'm not sure what the second engineer was doing. Double airfield for Happy, and is it going to be Apollos in the second one? Some players do like to go for like 6 Vindicators and just keep 2 Apollos, but we'll have to see. Some players like to go 4 and 4, depending on what the vibe is. And having 4... Ooh, Bullfrog gets shrunk, but none of the Bullfrogs are close enough to really punish. Okay, so that Cryocopter gets punished even though it didn't really need to be. There's the observation post getting captured. The Vindicators do escape, but the Cryocopter does not, so kind of a curious move there by Happy. Perhaps a bit of an uncharacteristic mistake that he allowed that to happen. Why is he producing it? You don't need constant engineers. At the very least, just destroy the observation post. I think he's lost like 1,000, maybe 1,500 credits in just engineers as he hunts down all 3 of the Twin Blades. He gets the catch. He also gets the C on this Dreadnought, the scout on the Dreadnought just as it spawns. You couldn't really ask for better timing than that. And of course, the Dreadnought hilariously misses these Riptides and will perhaps forever miss the Riptides. But he gets the dog that was just sitting there doing nothing. Vindicators continuing to try and bomb their way through these walls as the first Dreadnought will go down, will be eliminated, will not go down, I guess. The Akula sub going to be able to clean up 1 Harvester, and that one does go down. Meanwhile, the Riptides get called off in a curious move where Happy decides to not attack with his attacking units when he's moments away from killing a Dreadnought. Truly a bit of a misclick there for Happy. The Twin Blade may not get the kill here because of the Apollo forced to land on the water, and his guns are actually still active. So the Riptide kills the Vindicator, or kills the Dreadnought, and the Twin Blade kills the Riptide anyways in a funny little exchange of land, water, air there. And the Twin Blade landing on the water is pretty funny. 1 IFV goes down. The Twin Blades will take a bit of damage from the IFVs, barely surviving there as a Crusher Crane comes up for Toolman. The Akula sub coming back, but it gets shrunk down. The refinery may be eliminated. No, it barely does get to survive. Another Vindicator goes down as it looks like something else bit the dust as well. Bullfrogs here with the Twin Blades. Heavy losses being incurred by both sides. Some, again, uncharacteristic mistakes by Happy, but I guess we'll see if the Vacuum Imploder can't right the wrongs of the Toolman. He's also made a couple of mistakes here and there, but Happy doing a good job of trying to curb the Toolman. Ooh, the conscripts get sniped out of the air by the Apollos. And a surprisingly late Tier 3 from Happy. It's not even started. He's still just sitting on Tier 2, so he has no Athena cannons. He has no Mirage tanks. There's no opportunity for, well, I guess he could be trying to tech up out here, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like he's still just tier 1 at his naval yard as well, so truly Happy is playing this one in a definitely weird way. Hydrofoil going to be following up these 2 Riptides, which were very speedily making their way north. Onto the low ground, it looks like the MCV is trying to build. Bullfrogs almost get trapped by that cryo blast there. I guess the Vindicators killed that refinery, and a Hydrofoil is going to deny whatever pops out of the naval yard to try and defend against these Riptides. More Riptides in the south, but the Twin Blades will be here to push them away, unless the Apollos can come in to defend against the Twin Blades. Looks like Happy is going to be doing just that. Toolman almost leaves them out over the water for a little bit too long. One Twin Blade forced to ground itself as he does avoid those Apollos. Harvester is going to be getting harassed, and what comes out of the naval yard? Possibly another Akula sub, possibly a Stingray. Either way, the Hydrofoil will shut the first one down, and we'll see what happens with the Riptides after that. It's a Stingray! So the weapons jammer will shut it down in theory, and not just shut down the Harvester. Great use of the Vindicators to execute a bombing run while your opponent is distracted somewhere else. Manages to get a big chunk out of that refinery. Possibly will even be able to get a big chunk out of that refinery as well. 4 cryocopters finally here for Happy. He's been struggling with keeping his cryocopter numbers up. Meanwhile, back on the north side of the island, well, the Harvester is low on health, and it looks like the Hydrofoil got pushed away, but the refinery will be taking a bit of a beating. The naval yard gets eliminated in the south, and this refinery taking a good amount of damage. The first Stingray is going to be getting shut down, and the Riptides might just try to avoid the Akula sub rather than engage straight up. They can at the very least, keep one of the Stingrays busy for the current moment. Hydrofoil goes down, and the entire refinery gets sacked, so I guess the Riptides have kind of bought themselves, created value for Happy, rather. Pretty consistent use of bullfrogs, it feels like. There's a paved stone texture underneath Infinity Isle, apparently. I'm not sure how that works with the dirt path and all the grass, but 20 seconds-ish left on the vacuum imploder. Another naval yard going to be established, but just a moment too late because the Riptides are already here, putting the pressure on it. The Twin Blade gets spawned in and eliminated as we're crossing the 5-second mark on the vacuum imploder. Where will Toolman choose to use it? He might be able to set down the Allied airfield and reset it quite nicely, although Tier 3 is now out, so perhaps, well, he's going to get the cryocopters, it looks like. No, they barely escape. One goes down, and it's going to be just buildings and infrastructure that take a lot of damage. The War Factory down to just a smidge of health. The MCV as well. But can the Twin Blades finish it off? There's going to be a freeze on the Bullfrogs, but it misses as the Twin Blades come in to finish the job. The IFVs are here to defend. The first of the 5 Twin Blades do take a bit of damage. This War Factory so low on health, but the Twin Blades instead go for the MCV. The MCV packing up, and there's going to be a power plant to body block and to try and push away, although 2 Sentry Bombers go down, and the Bullfrogs earning their stripes. A bizarre game for sure as we see Sentry Bombers get added into the mix. The Twin Blades jump on the IFVs, but one of them survives with just a smidge of health, allowing it to get off another volley of rockets, and the Twin Blades eventually overwhelm the IFVs. A couple of the Twin Blades low on health, but they get pulled away quite nicely. Meanwhile, in the south, the Akula Sub and the Stingray going to be chasing away these Riptides. And once again, Toolman has bought himself a lot of space this whole game. He has been able to delay Happy and keep Happy from powering up or really doing very much in this game. A curious infect on that IFV, considering how close the War Factory is. The MCV rebuilding those power plants, getting the barracks back up. The Hydrofoil going to be able to shut down those Akula subs and keep 2 of these Riptides Well, not actually keep them alive, because apparently the Ultra Torpedoes just one-shot the Riptide quite nicely there. Eventually, the oil derrick does go down as the Dreadnought is here, and it looks like the airfield will be the next target after being rebuilt. It's going to get shut down. One cryocopter goes down, and a second cryocopter taking a decent amount of damage. Toolman slowly but surely trying to close this game out. Happy is a tough nut to crack, but having the artillery advantage for most of the game might allow Toolman to do it. He hasn't been able to put the pressure on with the artillery up to this point, but he may finally have an opening with that Dreadnought in the north. IFV's pushing away the Bullfrogs as the Twin Blades come back in for another swing, and the Twin Blades jump on top of the IFVs. The Cryoblast a complete miss here as Toolman skates right past it, and the IFVs get completely eliminated. The Apollos no match for the sheer number of Bullfrogs that are on the ground. Although those Bullfrogs might start getting picked off, we'll see if the Athena cannons can do something about it. Multi-gunner turret is here. The Aegis shield going to be protecting it for the current moment, and the Javelin Trooper going to get a couple of shots off, but it's not nearly enough as the Twin Blades overwhelm one of the IFVs, and no second IFV or multi-gunner turret coming down to defend this area. 2 IFVs, 3 IFVs, and a Javelin Soldier are here, but no! Happy fails to get it inside of an IFV in time, and the Twin Blades overwhelming the anti-air forces of Happy, and he is falling apart, and the Dreadnought isn't even a part of this battle. Twin Blades may eventually go down as a Javelin Trooper inside of the building, and another IFV get a couple of extra shots off, but barely. The Twin Blades manage to escape. That one going down right at the edge, and this Dreadnought just not doing anything is very curious. Could be shutting down the airfield, could be shutting down the war factory as well. Apollo in the south, Riptides on the right edge of the map for Happy. Gonna put more pressure on this refinery, perhaps force a sell-off again, but a minute and 50-ish seconds on that vacuum imploder, so the clock continues to count down. I guess killing off that civilian structure would be nice, but yeah, I think there are probably a lot more valuable targets to potentially hit in that base. Happy just barely keeping his head above water. His Riptides get pushed away by another Akula sub, and the refinery goes down. The airfield is next, and this cryocopter will be able to shrink down the Dreadnought. The army of Bullfrogs is a little bit too far away at that particular moment. It looks like the army of Bullfrogs has been cut down a little bit, down to just 3 Bullfrogs, perhaps. Peacekeeper gets eliminated. Another engineer coming out onto the front line for Toolman, although he's already got the observation post, so I think an engineer was coming out from Happy, but it got sniped. Dreadnought gets pushed away once again. Less than a minute on the clock for the vacuum imploder once again. Akula sub might be able to sneak up on the fully heroic Riptide and get an insta-kill. Another Apollo goes down, courtesy of that Bullfrog. Twin Blades going to be engaging with the IFVs. Finally, Happy's IFVs getting some free kills here as we cross the 20-second mark on the vacuum imploder, and 3 Twin Blades going down because Toolman wasn't paying attention. Cryocopter gets the shrink on that Akula sub, and the Riptide gets the kill. Happy actually making some real headway here, and where is anything to kill off this Dreadnought? Nothing is nearby. This Bullfrog, or this Twin Blade, this Peacekeeper is close, but it's not quite there yet. There's the sell-off of the power plants. And I mean, the war factory is going to go down if the vacuum imploder has anything to say about it. I'm really surprised that wasn't a combo move. The vacuum imploder over there to hit the IFVs to clear everything out, and maybe to bring the Twin Blades in as the Apollos get cleaned up, or at least one of the Apollos gets cleaned up, but the other Apollo is going to run out of bullets before he runs out of Twin Blades to shoot. 2 Twin Blades going down, the Bullfrog showing up and gets the kill. lovely control of those bullfrogs to bring them in. And that vacuum imploder, a bit of a curious choice there, but he does clean up the anti-air, so now the Twin Blades can get to work, and the IFVs are no more. Not enough Javelin soldiers and not enough Apollos, as I think Happy is maybe strapped for cash, and that's why he wasn't able to build anything in response quick enough. No more Javelin soldiers coming out of that barracks. Multi-gunner turrets trying to push that away. It looks like the Dreadnought did get sniped eventually. Another power plant goes down just as another multi-gunner turret gets established. Happy desperately trying to keep his anti-air forces online, but another refinery will be swept away quite easily by the Twin Blade forces of Toolman. The Apollos clean up a Twin Blade. Is it Toxins getting called down? I'm not sure what he's using over there. Yep, he manages to get the kill on a couple of Peacekeepers. And, well, a little bit of damage against the Apollo as well, just slowly but surely. The airfield survives, and the Apollos are the one chance that Happy's got to try and break the Twin Blade forces of Toolman. Ooh, a single flak trooper inside of that civilian structure, getting dangerously close to killing off that Apollo. And Happy somehow rebuilding, hasn't actually been knocked out yet. If he could just deal with those bullfrogs, then the only thing left would be the Twin Blades, and those are easy enough to hunt down. But this double vet, double heroic bullfrog combo that's sitting over there is tough to break. 2 hydrofoils here, just need a Riptide to break down those Stingrays. Twin Blades coming in, they might be able to grab this. Well, they go for the airfield. They're going to be able to grab it. No Twin Blades go down. Nice rotation of the Twin Blades pulls them back, and another airfield will need to be established very soon as the Engineer goes for the observation post in the middle of the map. And the Apollos are not satisfied with the little bit of damage that they did earlier. They're hoping to secure more of a kill. The Stingrays trying to stay out of range of those hydrofoils, but the one Riptide has really got his work cut out for him, trying to clean up 2 of Stingrays as they run away from him constantly. Harvester does survive, but the refinery does not, as the Apollos skate around to the north side once again, looking desperately for those Twin Blades to gun down. The Riptide not here to clean up those to clean up the Dreadnought and the Stingray. No Vindicators out on the field to do the job for them. And the Dreadnought delay has worked with the Cryoblast, or the Cryogeddon perhaps, but the Kirov is here. And that might be the nail in the coffin. Toolman might finally be able to seal the deal and kill off Happy once and for all. Multi-gunner turrets are going to get some nice damage, but it won't be enough to stop the Kirov. And the Killer Kirov gets the win for Toolman. Happy definitely playing that one out a little bit weird, but Toolman also playing that one out a little bit weird, and that was just kind of an unusual match that turned kind of a bit into fireworks. So overall, definitely not the best execution of unit control that we get to see in Red Alert 3, but an entertaining match nonetheless. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Sybert signing out.